Om Shanti. Good morning. So yesterday we had a beautiful chance to listen to a very interesting Murli on the greatest treasure of Brahmins. The greatest treasure of a Brahmin is thoughts. And I hope we spend good time contemplating, checking, changing. Because one of the things I've noticed is that as we get more and more aware of our own selves, our values, we start noticing that we won't like to carry anything negative in the mind for anybody at all, not for the self, not for anyone else. And Baba was yesterday talking about waste thoughts, not even negative thoughts. So the journey is really wonderful, adventurous. There's a lot to do. Constant learning, unlearning, constant checking of the mind, constant checking, and going deeper and deeper and deeper to see how we can keep it pure, clean and clear. And so the only feelings that I'm able to harbor inside are love, acceptance, forgiveness, non-violence, peace, being able to accommodate everybody. So today I was having this beautiful thought about how it's become my greatest value now, not to give sorrow, not to take sorrow. And what is, we are okay with not giving sorrow to others. But there's a lot for us to learn in how not to take sorrow from anybody. That is a very, very important part of life, not to take sorrow from anyone. And so the question is, what does that really mean? And so today it was very interesting. If I'm thinking of anybody or anyone, and let's say they have done something wrong, they've said something bad, they have told something to me that is not good. So what do I do then? What is it that takes place in my mind? What takes place in my mind? I feel a little negative about them. Why did they do this? How do they say these things? Well, I'm going to tell them these things next when I meet them. They should not be speaking. They should not treat me like this. They don't understand me. And so when I have these thoughts for the other person, I am actually taking sorrow. I'm taking sorrow because I don't say anything to them. I don't, if I speak to them, I might speak to them nicely, politely, but I'm taking sorrow. I'm corrupting and polluting my mind every time I think of them in that fashion. But when I separate them and I look at them as beings of light, as souls, those pure, divine, peaceful, loving beings from Paramdham playing their part through those bodies and are ignorant of their own selves, then what happens is I notice that I clear my space from all negative thoughts, anything waste. There's full acceptance from where they come, who they are. And then I can still go ahead and place my points in front of them, whatever I have to. So, this acceptance of not taking sorrow from everybody is very important because we don't know the damage we are creating to ourselves. And that's what the Murli was really, what Baba was trying to help us understand yesterday. Such a deep Murli, such a deep Murli. And the treasure of Brahman are the thoughts. So, am I really accumulating? Am I feeling that I'm getting richer and richer, more and more wealthy every single moment with those thoughts that we keep accumulating? Yeah, so how not to accept sorrow and how to not accept sorrow is to check whether I'm holding or if somebody does anything wrong to me and somebody insults me, that's the worst thing. Uh, I need to be able to look at them as souls who have come down from Paramdham, who are playing their parts on earth. They are actors. So someone is saying something to me, that's not the problem. I mean, they are not the problem. There is a problem, but they are not that problem. They are souls playing their parts. They've come down from Paramdham. They are souls. They're pure beings. They're loveful beings. But they have said something which is fine, but still they are pure. So, for example, I am a soul, right? I'm a pure being of light. I'm divine. So are we all over here. And we can behave based on body consciousness. That can be greed, ego, attachment, anger, all these things we're doing. So when I do those things, that does not change the fact that I am still the pure being of light that came from Paramdham. And I have learned a lot of things, I've acquired a lot of things, and I've developed fear, I've developed this, I've developed anxiety, and so I'm behaving like this. But that does not steal away the fact that I am a divine being. So when somebody misbehaves, please separate that person's behavior from who the person is. The person is pure and loving and beautiful. And they're probably in acting out of body consciousness. Probably, they're definitely acting out of body consciousness. So I've got to give them that benefit of doubt. And I'm going to leave it out. But if I'm carrying any sense of revenge, or if I harbor any feeling of waste or even negativity slightly for them, then you are creating sorrow for your own self. We can always go and speak to them. We can always go and share what they did was not right. We can give them a better perspective. We can share and let them know that they were incorrect, they were wrong in what they had said. This is not the truth, and communicate and clarify. But, and this is the deeper aspect, this is possible, extremely possible. It is possible to have a good feeling for them, to hold them in high regard and esteem, and still, even if they're wrong, that's why we are practicing all these meditation aspects, right? What is normal is you do something wrong to me, I have a bad image of you. I don't hold you in high regard. Why? Because you behave like this. You were so wrong. Anybody would do that. But now I'm different, right? Now what's different about me? Now I have learned about my own self. I realize I'm just an actor here. I've come to know that I am a peaceful, loving being, and I've changed my drishti for others. I change my drishti for others. What does it mean? I'm changing my own world. Jaisi drishti, vaisi srishti. So I want to have a pure world. I want to have a world that is free from pain and sorrow. And therefore, I've got to change my vision for others. So you're not doing this because of anything else. Just because they have done their wrongdoings, misdoings, and they have not fulfilled their responsibilities. Why am I taking sorrow? That's what's Rajayoga. Rajayoga is, I am the master. The moment you start taking sorrow and pain because of other people's behaviors, you're not Rajayogi then. We're back into the normal space of life, where we are reacting to whatever others are doing. Rajyogis. And we're not just trying to be simply pleased, and I'm peaceful and happy because I'm a Rajyogi. I'm not allowed to get angry, but I know you did something wrong. And so then I'm just pretending. I am suppressing. I am creating masks in front of me, but inside I'm not really okay. I am boiling inside. I'm really feeling angry, but I'm just not expressing. That's not what we should do. That's not called being the Rajyogi or master of your mind. Rajyogi, master of the mind, means I know how not to take sorrow from anybody. I know how not to take waste into my mind. And therefore, I got to do not and dot. Yesterday, I said not and dot. If this is not okay for myself, put a dot. Not dot, move forward. Not dot and move forward. That's all. And so once we're able to do that nicely, we're fine. So remember, everything we are learning is taking us a step closer to our own perfect selves. Everything we are learning from Baba, because Baba has one aim to make us perfect. Perfect is who? Baba gives us an image also. He says, Lakshmi Narayan. Child, look at Lakshmi Narayan. That's the image of perfection. And Baba wants us to keep going towards that image, constantly go towards the image of Lakshmi Narayan. That's divine. And what will be the state of mind of Lakshmi and Narayan? How strong they will be, how wealthy they would feel internally. And so Baba is really trying to create that for us today, because we cannot become Lakshmi Narayan tomorrow all of a sudden in Satyug. No, Baba says that sanskar of Devi Devta sanskar must be inculcated today. And so if I'm divine, Devi Devtas, if you go and see in the temple, we have the images. We have the images of the deities, and you worship those images. What is so unique about those images that we see there? From the face, we get to see the state of mind. They say face is the index of the mind. So when you see the Devi Devtas on their face, what is it that we see? We see happiness, we see joy, we see cheer, we see total acceptance and love for everybody who comes and stands in front of them. You have a Nastic, you have an Astic, you have a person who's defaming that person or defaming even the image in front of them. They may respect it, they may disrespect it. But the image is giving the same vibrations to everybody. It doesn't change. And so what Baba is saying is, we must become like the deity who's giving to everybody same, has the same feeling for all. So that sanskar must be developed now. And that's a Raj Yogi, really. That's a Raj Yogi, where I'm not discriminating and giving one person good vibrations, the other bad vibrations. Then I'm just playing the same role like the world does, worldly role. Baba says, you are Raj Yogis. It's his title, very beautiful title. He says, you are Raj Yogis. Raj Yogis. So Raj Yogis, he says, you cannot say, what am I to do? How can I do this? I could not help it. It just happened. I got too busy and there were so many things happening and this person said this and so this happened. Baba says this happened is not what the Raj Yogi says. The Raj Yogi says, I choose this. This is my state of mind. What is the state of mind you choose to have? That's where you start. My state of mind, I wanted to be happy. Happy means no sorrow. Okay, I want to give happiness to others. I cannot give sorrow. Okay, fantastic. So now if you've chosen your state of mind, then choose your thoughts. What is your thoughts? Somebody does something wrong to me. And I've just already said that my state of mind is happy. You do something wrong to me. Now, if I take that on me and I start having bad feelings and bad thoughts for you, it's totally different from the actual problem. Bad feelings and bad thoughts about the person will immediately take me away and spoil my mood, spoil my state of mind. Then I'm not a Rajogi. Baba says there's something called Praja Yogi. One is Raja and one is Praja. So he wants to make us the Raja. That's what's God's aim, Raja. Now, let us look at the next Murli. There's another Murli I want to share today. But we should try and understand the power on each of the Murlis. Very powerful. And as we keep discovering the power of those Murlis, we can see how we become more and more powerful. Remember, Baba will share with us only that which is possible for us to do. He would never share something which is impossible to do. And every time when he shares something for us to do, he first uplifts us. He shows us who we truly are, what our potential is, who's our teacher. It's not an ordinary human teacher. Baba reminds us that your teacher is the Supreme Soul itself. And so if you have the Supreme Soul as your teacher, what sort of student you will become? And so how is it possible for you now? And so Baba really uplifts us, makes us feel that intoxication, and then says very simple things. He says, okay, now don't take sorrow. Don't give sorrow. Simple. That's one simple formula you have to follow from me. Okay, Baba. Yes, Baba. Possible, Baba. Possible. You are my teacher. You are my guide. You are with me, my companion. Possible. And so that's how Baba's with a lot of love, regard, teaching us. So we have another Murli today. Huh? Let's read that Murli. It's a beautiful Murli here. Sweet children. Baba always starts with Meethe Bacche. Do not let words that cause sorrow for anyone emerge from your lips. Do not let words that cause sorrow for anyone emerge from your lips. So this is just the essence of the real Murli. And so sometimes you have a question and answer based on the Murli. So the question is, what can each of you godly students progress in this? When can each of you godly students progress in this study? And the answer is, when you have the practice of churning the ocean of knowledge, the more you churn, the more worthy you become. If you do not churn knowledge, you would definitely be churning devilish matters. That is churning rubbish. You would continue to have wasteful and sinful thoughts. This is why, in order to progress, learn to churn knowledge. Those who have imbibed knowledge remain constantly cheerful. Beautiful. See, the Murli of today is so much in connection with our discussions. Om Shanti. Baba sits, now Baba's speaking, right? Baba sits and explains about knowledge and bhakti. Children have understood that there cannot be salvation through bhakti and that bhakti does not exist in Satyug. You cannot receive knowledge in Satyug. Krishna neither does bhakti nor does he play the flute of knowledge. Murli means to give knowledge. It is remembered that there is magic in the flute. There must definitely be some magic. Even ordinary people can play the flute. There is the magic of knowledge in this Murli. Ignorance cannot be called magic. The Murli is called magic. You change from humans into deities through knowledge. When it is Satyug, there is the shower of that knowledge. There is no bhakti there. Bhakti starts when? Bhakti starts from the copper age, when you change from deities to humans. Humans are always called vicious, and the deities are called viceless. The world of deities is called the pure world. You are now becoming deities. What is called knowledge? Baba is discriminating knowledge from bhakti. In bhakti, there is no knowledge. There may be a lot of bhavana, but gyan is missing, knowledge. So Baba says in the Satyug, there is only knowledge. There's no bhakti. Nobody worships in Satyug, and even in Treta for that matter. So you are now becoming deities. What is called knowledge? What is knowledge? Baba wants to know. One is the recognition of the self and Baba. Then there is also the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and the end of the world. That too is called knowledge. There is salvation through knowledge. Later, when bhakti begins, it is called the stage of descent because bhakti is called the night and knowledge is called the day. So from Dwapar onwards, when bhakti starts, we keep falling down. We keep coming down. And today, when we receive the knowledge, we immediately rise up. So, however, inculcation of the divine virtues does not take place. It can be understood for those who have divine virtues that they have imbibed knowledge. The activity of those who have imbibed knowledge is like that of the deities. Those who imbibe less knowledge have a mixed activity. It means that those who have not imbibed anything would not be considered the children of God. People defame God so much. People continue to insult God. This is interesting. How is it that we have been insulting and defaming God, although our intention is to love God? Our intention is to worship, pray, and to praise and to love Him. But Baba says we've been defaming and insulting God. When you come into the Brahmin clan, you stop insulting and defaming God. You receive knowledge, and by churning it, you receive nectar. When you churn, even buttermilk, or when you churn milk, how it, becomes butter. Or when you churn buttermilk, how you get the butter out of it. So like that, Baba says, when you churn knowledge, you receive nectar. If you do not churn the ocean of knowledge, what else would you be churning? You would be churning devilish thoughts. Only rubbish will emerge from that. You are now godly students. You know that you are studying the study to change from humans into deities. The deities will not teach you that. Deities won't teach you how to be a deity. You children receive this knowledge now from the Supreme Soul. It does not exist in Satyuga. Deities can never be called the oceans of knowledge. Only the One can be called the ocean of knowledge. Only through knowledge are you able to have divine virtues. These deities have divine virtues. All those deities we worship, they have divine virtues. You sing their praise, that they are complete with all virtues. So you now have to become like they are. That's what knowledge and bhakti, the difference is in bhakti, you don't become, you praise them. But in knowledge, Baba makes us become like them. So Baba says it's our real work, and this is really what we should do to ourselves. So you now have to become like they are. And that's what God's task is, to make us divine. So ask yourself, do I have all the divine virtues, or do I have any devilish traits? If you have any devilish traits, what to do? You should remove them. Simple. Only then can you be called deities. Otherwise, you will still otherwise you will claim a low status. You can quickly tell from the atmosphere what someone has said. Your face should always remain cheerful. Otherwise, it could be said that you do not have any knowledge. Baba says if your face is not cheerful, it could be said that you don't have knowledge. Let jewels constantly emerge from your mouth. Look how cheerful Lakshmi and Narayan always are. Their souls have imbibed the jewels of knowledge. They Now, very important point. Why is Lakshminarayan so cheerful? Their souls have imbibed jewels of knowledge. Not when they were Lakshminarayan, but in the birth before they became Lakshminarayan. And that's when they became Lakshminarayan. So they don't become Lakshminarayan and then start practicing and learning how to actually have a cheerful face and behavior. But the souls have imbibed the jewels of knowledge in Sangam Yuga when they were Brahmins. Then they became. So they got this knowledge from Shiv Baba at a stage one before. So Baba's really making it clear now. How did Lakshminarayan become Lakshminarayan? Baba many times gives us work. He says, go to the temples, meet the pujari, and with a lot of love and regard, ask the pujari that we are worshipping Lakshminarayan. Please tell me, how did they become Lakshminarayan? And Baba says, nobody can give you that answer except the Supreme Soul who actually taught them. So Baba says, they always let jewels of knowledge emerge from their mouths. When you only speak and hear jewels of knowledge, there is so much happiness. The jewels of knowledge that you receive now will then become real jewels and diamonds there. The necklace of 9 jewels that is remembered is not of real jewels. We speak of that Navratan, right? It's not of real jewels. Then what is it about? What is those Navratan for? It's not about real jewels and diamonds. It's a necklace of jewels of knowledge. People think it is those jewels and wear a ring of the 9 jewels. The garland of the jewels of knowledge is created at the most auspicious conference age. That's why this age is called most auspicious conference age, because this is a time that the jewels of knowledge are really imparted. These jewels make you very wealthy for the future 21 births. Isn't that amazing? It makes you wealthy not just in one birth. This birth, 100%. When you get these jewels of knowledge, you're the wealthiest in the world. But Baba promises that when you imbibe these jewels now of knowledge, You become wealthy for the future 21 births. No one can loot it from you. If you wore those diamonds and jewels here, the physical ones, somebody would quickly loot them away from you. So you have to make yourself very sensible. You have to remove devilish characteristics. People's faces change because of the devilish qualities. Sorry. Out of anger, their face becomes as red as copper. Their face becomes as red as copper. Why? Because they get angry. Okay, so now if that's the case, when you become angry, your face becomes copper. Baba says, those who indulge in vice become ugly. Children should churn the knowledge in every aspect. This knowledge is about earning a lot of wealth. That study is not worth jewels. So Baba speaks of ugly with the vice, not at a physical level of ugliness. Those who indulge in vice become ugly. Ugly in the sense they lose their divinity in terms of the quality, in terms of the soul, how it has to actually be, and how we are not giving sorrow to anybody else. So when somebody is giving sorrow to somebody, they look ugly to them, right? It's not about the physical. People don't like them. That's what happens. And, it's not a very good way to be. Even for your own self, internally, you don't feel nice about yourself. You don't like yourself. That's what Baba means when he says ugly. This knowledge is about earning a lot of wealth. So a lot of wealth, this is the knowledge. That study is not worth jewels. Yes, after studying the worldly knowledge, some claim a high position. So it was a study that was helpful to you. So study is helpful to us. So we have to keep that study in our minds. Study is wealth. That is limited wealth, and this is unlimited wealth. Both are an education. You now understand that Baba is teaching you and will make you into the masters of the world. That is a temporary study for momentary happiness for one birth. Then you so we get momentary happiness in that study. What happens afterwards? Then you have to study afresh in your next birth. There in Satyuga, there is no need for studying to earn an income. There you receive limitless wealth through the effort of the time. That wealth becomes imperishable. When you were deities, you had a lot of wealth, and then when you went onto the path of bhakti, that is into the kingdom of Ravan, during Copper Age and so on, so on, you still had so much wealth. You built so many temples. You were so wealthy. No one can become as wealthy as you were through any study of today. You now know you are studying such an elevated study through which you become deities. So, what can people become just through study, from poor to wealthy? At present, Bharat is so poor, the whole country, Bharat is so poor. Wealthy people do not have any time. They have their own arrogance of being so and so. Here, your arrogance should finish. I'm a soul. The soul does not have any wealth, diamonds, or jewels, etc. Baba says, renounce your body and all bodily relations. When the soul leaves its body, all its riches finish. Only when it studies afresh can it become and earn money. Or if it gave donations, it will take, when it gives donations, it will take birth to a wealthy family. People speak about the fruit of their actions of their previous birth. If someone has donated knowledge or opened a college or a dharamshala, that's a hostel, he will receive the fruit of that, but only for a temporary period. Only for a temporary period. Donations and charity are performed here. They will not be performed in Satyug. In Satyug, they only perform good actions because they have received the inheritance of this time. Satyuga, only good actions. That's why no sorrow, no pain, no giving of pain and sorrow. In Satyug, they only perform good actions because they have received the inheritance of this time. There, no one's actions become sinful because no one's actions sinful because Ravan does not exist there. Not even the poor will perform sinful actions. Here, even the actions of wealthy people are sinful. This is why there is so much sorrow and disease here. There, people do not indulge in vice, and so how could there be sinful actions? Everything depends on actions. This is the kingdom of Maya, Ravan, and this is why people become vicious. Baba comes and teaches you to become viceless. Baba makes you viceless, and then Maya makes you vicious. This is the battle between those who belong to the dynasty of Rama and those who belong to the dynasty of Ravan. You are the children of the father, and they are the children of Ravan. So many good children are defeated by Maya. Maya is very powerful. But even then, Baba has hope. Even the most degraded ones have to be uplifted. Baba has to uplift the entire world. Many fall. There are those who fell completely and became the most degraded. Baba uplifts even those. Those who are most pure, those who are most impure are in the kingdom of Ravan. Baba saves you. But if even then some continue to fall, then they become most impure and cannot climb so high. That impurity continues to bite them internally. It is said, whatever you remember in your final moments, you become that. Antamati Sogati. There would be just impurity in their intellects. Therefore, Baba sits and explains, you children, you are the ones who become deities every kalpa, not just this one kalpa. If you do this effort, Baba says in the next kalpa, you will do the same efforts and you become divine again. Would animals become that? It is human beings who are able to understand and become that. Even Lakshmi and Narayan have noses, ears, and eyes. They too are human beings, but they have divine virtues. This is why they are called deities. How do they become such beautiful deities? And how do they then fall? You now know about this cycle. Those who churn the ocean of knowledge will be able to imbibe knowledge very well. If someone does not imbibe the knowledge, then they become buddhu. Those who conduct the murli churn knowledge constantly. Okay, so then what happens is towards the end, Baba usually summarizes the murli for us. I mean, it's been summarized by whoever wrote it. And we call that the essence of dharana, which we have to imbibe. So today, this is what we got to imbibe from whatever we heard in the murli. So this is the murli, dharana. You have to glorify the Father with your cheerful face. You should only relate and listen to the jewels of knowledge. Let there be a necklace of jewels of knowledge around your neck. Do not speak words that cause sorrow. Second, you must never become tired of doing service. You have to maintain hope and do service with interest. Churn the ocean of knowledge and remain enthusiastic. What Baba's giving us, churn it and be enthusiastic. Now the blessing. May you be a courageous Mahavir who adopts the medal of an elevated stage by applying a full stop. Wow. Mahavir, what does a Mahavir do? When we think of a Mahavir, you think of somebody at a war, somebody who's very powerful, fighting. That's a Mahavir. Baba says a Mahavir is the one who can apply a full stop. So within this eternal drama, Baba's explaining this blessing now. Within this eternal drama, no one awards a medal to the spiritual warriors in this spiritual army. But according to the drama, they automatically receive the medal of their stage. However, only those who observe the part of others as a detached observer and easily apply a full stop are able to receive this medal. The foundation of such souls is their experience. Whilst experiencing every virtue and every power, they continually move forward. No barrier or obstacle can stop them. There's a slogan as well. With the awareness of belonging to the one Father and none other, become free from attachment. You belong to the one Father as a soul. You belong to the one Father and none other. That frees you from attachments. And then towards the end of the Murli, Baba usually salutes the children. And he salutes it to the sweetest beloved, long lost, now found children. Love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. And we usually respond because somebody is greeting you and somebody says namaste. What do you say back? You will say namaste. So you'll say the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. So that really is another Murli that we heard today. And there are certain new things that will keep emerging in every Murli. And through churning, we'll be able to understand. Today, Baba spoke about Ravan, Maya, that this is the kingdom of Ravan, and those belonging to the kingdom of Ravan, you belong to the kingdom of Ravan. What does that all mean? We got to churn, we got to try and understand. What Baba's sharing with us is that this is the whole real Mahabharata war that's taking place. This is the war of defeating Ravan that we see in Ramayana as well. So that's also taking place. Who's the real hero here? This is Shiv Baba. Shiv Baba has come to defeat Ravan, to defeat the guns inside. And so this is the time that we have that war where we are defeating who we're having this Mahabharata war currently. So Maya, Ravan, they are just the vices inside every human being. And Baba has come to give us the light to take that ignorance away. And so everybody receives this knowledge in some way or the other. They've been called, they've been told, they've been reminded. And so Baba says, it's very important for you to keep this practice of sharing who is the Father with everybody else. So how do you share it? With a cheerful face. That's the biggest service. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking, what's the biggest service that you can ever do for God? To just remember meditation, churning. All these things are great service. When you do that, you become cheerful, peaceful, you imbibe those divine qualities, and everybody who sees you gets inspired to become a divine person, to become a deity like you. Okay, so that really brings us to the end of today's Murli. Do you have any questions?
So basically, what it says is like you have to keep working on your own self.
Yeah,
Like the more you, but what I'm saying is sometimes everybody tries to work on self. Nobody wants to get angry. Nobody wants to be bad. Nobody wants to hurt others intentionally, deliberately. Sorry. You know, basically, if a person is a good human being, they do not want to hurt or say bad things or say anything wrong deliberately. Sometimes the other person uh, hurts you or says nasty things about you, and sometimes you're not in a position to counter back or say a word to them. Suppose I'm just giving an example. It's your boss in the office. It could be the in-laws. I mean, the relation is of higher and lower level, and it's with your parents. Typically, it's easy to answer. If it's your kids, it's easy to talk to them. It's so at that stage, you see the other person not from the relation perspective, but see them as a from a soul perspective, right?
yeah.
So then you should go ahead and talk to them, communicate your perspective in a firm but polite way, or should you just keep quiet?
You see, that's a situation that we'll have to decide based on what is best to do at that point in time. And you will be the best judge, depending on what is happening, what is being spoken, what is who's around, what is the time right now, what is happening in their lives, what's happening in my lives, what's the state of their mind. Should it be done now? Should it be done later? Should we do it at all? Should I not say it? That's very, very subjective to the situation, completely subjective to the situation. But remember one thing, there's a huge difference between somebody who wants to be good and somebody who realizes that I am a soul that is divine, and somebody in front of me is also a soul that is divine. That's a completely different perspective now. Just wanting to be good, but to see other people as the relationships that we see them with, and seeing just their behavior and thinking they are, oh, not behaving well, they're bad people, or they're not good in that sense, with me at least, and they are so uh, ignorant, they're this, they're that. All those things come up to the mind, even to good people. And so, what I'm saying is that we don't have bad people in this world at all. And we've got to see, unless I am able to have that divine understanding and depth, we need both. We need to have the divine depth as well, which comes through listening to the Murdis every day, doing our daily meditation in the morning, and churning the ocean of knowledge. When I churn this and I see what is it that Baba is making me now today, then everything is different. It's not the same as before. Because everybody intends to do good things. Nobody in the world intends to do anything bad. Even a terrorist intends to do something good for his own people. They don't intend to do anything bad. If you ask them and go and interview people, all have good intentions. But what we are doing today is we are changing the way I see myself. and I'm changing the way I see others. And so, what I say to them, whether I'm firm, polite, I talk to them, I don't talk to them, that is something that will continue to happen depending on the situation. That should not change. Whatever you want to do, you do. But what should really change is, am I maintaining my stage or am I losing my stage? That's what is important. That's when Raj Yoga comes. That's what Papa says, you're Raj Yogis. You're now in charge of your own mind. You're in charge of your state. You're in charge of your thoughts. You're in charge of your decisions. You're no longer helpless. You're no longer saying, what could I have done? I had no choice. No.
Right. So basically, you have to distance yourself, look from the soul perspective, not be in body consciousness.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the point. You should not be in body conscious. You must shift your consciousness to becoming soul conscious. And then you should create a vision of the soul for others. And pure, truly, you must feel their divinity. You must feel your own divinity. The moment you feel your divinity, this thoughts which are negative is Ravan's property, Babas. That's not divine. That's devilish. That's why there's a difference between traits of a devil, traits of a divine being. The moment you're able to emerge your divine qualities, the others just die away. Then do what you want to do, no problem. But now you're a divine being. You see, Baba also tells us how to change. Baba also comes and, instead of just shouting at us and screaming at us and having any negative feeling, you see, he speaks with so much of love to us that we want to change. We want to listen to him. So that's possible. If I bring in the true love in my teaching, if I truly have compassion and care for people when I'm teaching them, they're ready to listen to us because we have received so much of love. Why is it easy with the parents? Why is it difficult with the in laws? Because the in laws have not had that amount of time where they've given us all that love. They start off with teaching what we should do, what we should not do. This is right, this is correct, this is wrong. So we have not created that atmosphere of love still with them. But with the parents, we have seen their love so much. So if the parents come and tell us certain things to change and tell us you're not doing this properly, you're doing that, and they shout at us also, we don't mind. Why? Because of that love they've given us, because they see us as their children, because they have that feeling of care and compassion for us. So for us also, we have to change the way we look at ourselves and look at others. Then when we go and do the teaching and make them understand, they'll understand.
Right. Yeah. So important is again self-love. You have to elevate your own self to that level that, okay, if somebody's talking, they're talking from a different perspective that need not necessarily be applicable to you, but they may be talking from their limited or whatever the perspectives, and you should not get impacted by that.
Hmm. Yeah, I am a soul. I am peaceful, and I'm loving. These are my qualities. The person might have told me something about a few things, but that doesn't change who I am really. I am, and so constantly go back. And so we have to do the daily practice. Every day we have to keep practicing this.
Right, right. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Om Shanti. Let's sit for a few moments in silence now. Just churn on the Murli, all the points that you heard. Just try and review and revise some of those points and then see which is the point that you like the most from the Murli today's Murli, the full Murli that Baba read for us. Okay, thank you. Om Shanti. Have a beautiful day. Stay cheerful, like Baba said. Yeah, cheerful. Bye bye. Om Shanti.
Shanti Prakash bhai.
Yeah, how are you, brother?
Doing good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing very, very good. Wonderful, wonderful. Enjoying in Armenia.
Okay, okay. So what's the time that?
It's same like Dubai, 1.5 hours before India. So
Okay.
now 6:30.
Okay.
Now, what we're saying is we're starting evening murlis, right?
Evening course.
Evening course in English.
Yes.
What do you think? Are we having anybody there who wants to do the course?
In English?
Yeah,
In English, in OT no one is there.
who wants to do the course, not to take the
Okay.
course,
Okay, do the
but
course. No, we have to find people because in general, once we have the invitation, we circulate it to many people. So
we feel evening we'll have more, no?
evening will have more than morning. That's the experience with the Tamil group.
So, do you think we should have the same format with advanced and beginners, or should we change the format?
I think this format is good because in first basic you covered a lot of things which is really matters to them and people enjoyed it. And whoever is really inclined to know more, they will join the advanced. So I think this format is good.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Because I'm here in Yerevan, I'm actually quite free. I'm doing nothing.
Hmm.
I'm just expecting two other brothers who are coming from Dubai
Okay.
on the 21st. They're coming from 21st. So we obviously would need to take them out. uh, they're coming all the way from Dubai to
Okay.
Yerevan because we are here. We are actually quarantined here.
Okay. Okay.
Before going to Dubai, we have to go out of India for at least 14 days somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I'm here now. 14 days, 15 days I have to spend here, then I can get entry into Dubai.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so people from Dubai, they have Eid holidays coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So evenings, if I mean, and my second question is, I'll do this, of course. I'm just seeing how best to do it. And we said 7:30. That's 5 o'clock here, or 7 o'clock. What did we say?
7 o'clock. 7 to 8.
Seven is five. 7,
5:30.
5:30. 5:30 in the evening. 5:30 in the evening should be fine. It should be okay. Okay, let me just check the calendar out.
Okay.
Calendar. That's starting day after, right? Day after tomorrow. 19.
No, we can change the date also if you want.
Hmm.
because
I
we
don't
are
want to
not.
postpone it anymore because these are good dates, actually. These are good dates. We should do it and finish it. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. No, we'll do it, brother. We'll do it because
Mhm.
there's no question when we have opportunity to serve. When we do seva,
Yeah.
they cannot have a question of. You cannot have a question of whether I can or not. The question should be how to reach to the most number of people. So that's okay, fine. I think it's good. We can announce it earlier so we can go ahead and do it. No,
Okay. Okay. Fine. We will do.
19th is Monday onwards, Monday, not Sunday. No, we want to do from Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So that's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 till Saturday.
Yeah.
6 days. Yeah, perfect.
7 days, no? Or Saturday. If you want to make it 6 days, it's okay.
Because 7 days, no, we make
So
it
should we
six
make it
days. No,
6 days?
6 days base beginners, 6 days advance.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
So then that advanced course which we're doing right now, we can finish it tomorrow, correct?
Yes. Yes. That we can finish tomorrow.
Then we need to see that Sister Sunita seems to be pretty interested now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do we take her forward? Where do we connect her for the Murlis every day so she can start listening slowly?
Yeah. We have to see where to connect because all over the places we get Murli, but we have to connect her to the right place so that for the new people, the way it should be explained, it will be explained that way.
Yeah.
And not only Sister Sunita, few people couldn't join in the morning, so they go through the YouTube regularly.
Oh, they do, is it?
Yeah, they ask me, send me the link, and then they do. So around 15, 16 people regularly listen to it.
Oh, that's nice. I'm just thinking, I mean, we've got these recordings. When we do the next Murli, I don't mind doing that also once more. But why don't we then reuse this recording to do courses live where I could also be available? I mean, I don't know if we need to repeat it again. Thankfully with technology, we can. Is there a difference between me doing it live versus me recording and playing it for them? Or can I come in the end and I'm there for them after we finish it?
I feel there is a difference in being live and doing the recording because people, if they don't know that it is a recording, then it's not a problem. If they know it is, if they know that it's a recording, then they will say, okay, I can listen to it at any time.
Anytime. Okay. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Okay, fantastic.
There's a difference. Yes.
Okay. So we'll do it now from next month onwards, right? No, this month we're talking 19th onwards. Let me just book my calendars. Okay, sir.
Okay, sure with that. So from 19th to 6 days, Saturday, Monday to Saturday, I will.
Monday to Saturday, I'll block myself from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. every day for Yerevan time.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, thank you, Shanti.
Om Shanti.